Hey everybody, I need to do this quick little introduction thing because apparently something went wrong with the recording of Breaking Bells last night. I would say approximately 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the recording is dead. Nothing is there, so my introduction of what's up everybody, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, all that is gone. It's just not there. It actually kicks the episode up where Chelsey and I are kind of getting into the conversation. Like the conversation kind of begins where we are. So I apologize. I don't know what exactly happened. There was no technical difficulties. Chat could hear everything we were saying. Everything was fine. But in the recording side of it, we lost probably about 4 minutes of the conversation. So it's going to pick up right there. And I'll take a look at it and see what I could do to fix it for next week. But I apologize sincerely that this even happened. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Breaking Bells.
I was like, God, I don't want to see anything. But then my anger turned to excitement because, oh my God.
To be fair, they don't really show anything in these.
They show everything.
No, they don't. Trust me. People are hanging on every single word for the past 6 months to a year, and they're showing nothing. This is exactly all they've shown the entire time. I could have showed you other stuff, and they didn't. But But
I haven't seen any of it.
Okay, let's start this.
Okay.
People are probably sitting there. They might be like, well, okay, how do these two know each other so well? Why are they riffing at each other? Why are they, so here's the thing. So if you're new to Breaking Bells, because that's very possible. We've been having a lot of pretty big guests recently, and we've got a whole new audience and all this stuff. And plus, now with New Horizons actually becoming a thing, we're starting to get a lot of people here watching that don't really know you were actually a co-host in the beginning of things.
Yeah.
Originally, there's one episode that's with my ex-wife, Tony. Lawyers got involved and destroyed the show. And then, I was like,
wait, we can joke about that now?
Yeah, we can joke about that. That's fun. We're in joking phase. Her and I talk now. We're friends. We're good.
Okay, good.
We're back to being friends again.
Okay.
So then I was like, how am I going to do this show? Because I was gung-ho to do this show. And I was like, I know somebody. I know somebody that likes Animal Crossing. I know somebody that's a female. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted a female co-host. I didn't want to be...
You don't want to deal with those men.
I got Sean. At the time, I had Sean and Toby. I didn't need no more men in my life. Now I don't have Toby, and I still have Sean. And me and Sean are fighting like a married couple nowadays.
I know. I feel like you're a married couple sometimes more than we are.
It's so brutal sometimes. It's hard. I don't know how you do it. At least I get to turn the camera off and walk away. But anyway, so you and I did the show for, I don't even know how long it was. It was a couple months we did the show.
Yeah.
But it was difficult to do the show because I felt anyway. It was hard to come up with topics because at that time, Animal Crossing wasn't even announced for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of doing this blind in the idea of like, let's see what happens here. So then we got moving, we got the ball rolling, everything was good. And then I stopped everything for a while. And then I got the idea of like, hey man, I could have a how did you get into Animal Crossing? Started the conversation and then lead into New Horizons to finalize. So that's got us kind of up to speed now. So in about 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks, this is the fourth week, this is a month in now that we're doing the show again. And so you're back. I want to start off with this. Two things real quickly. Doesn't have to be long and elaborate. We can move on. I just want you to refresh people's memories. What was the first Animal Crossing game you ever played?
GameCube.
Okay. And then what is your favorite Animal Crossing game?
New Leaf.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out.
That is the show.
That is the show. That is all. Okay, so the thing of it is this. This is what I want to know. Because I don't know, obviously. I thought you watched the E3 stuff. I didn't know you actually went radio silent on everything. So we can back it up to what you just saw the other day. What are your first impressions as you are watching that trailer? Like, where's your mind going during that?
It's so pretty.
It is pretty.
It's so I sent you a video after, and it was like all of the Animal Crossings from 2001 to now.
Yes.
And really, they all kind of look the same. Like, even graphically, like,
Yeah.
there isn't a huge difference. And then, like, they show the 2001. I don't even know the name of the one for the N64. Was it the same as the GameCube one?
The N64 was Japanese only.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was in Japan, and then they ported that to the GameCube in
Got
the
it.
United States. That's the one that we got.
So it's the same thing.
It's the same exact game.
And then they go all the way to New Leaf, and it's like, you really, other than like a little bit of a difference, they're really similar in like graphically. So this one, I feel like, is a huge jump.
Yes. Oh,
Like,
yes.
even all the little characters have so much more detail. So that was my first impression. It's
Yes.
just like how vibrant and beautiful it is. So yay, that's super exciting.
It is. It is.
And like the crafting, that is my jam.
Is it really? Oh, because
Well,
you play Fallout.
I'm Fallout. Like, I'm
Yes.
Fallout all the way. Like, my two favorite games are Fallout and Animal Crossing, which, I mean, it's funny because I would normally say, like, they couldn't be more different, but really,
Yeah.
if you take, like, building the settlements, they actually are kind of the same, but one's a very much more adult version.
And the killing, you know what I mean? Like,
There's a lot of killing in
Yeah, there's a
Animal
lot-
Crossing. Mhm.
that's what I was thinking. There's so much killing in Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Oh,
Blood
man.
everywhere.
If you didn't know, it's a super violent
Yes,
game.
yes,
That would be
yes.
amazing. That would be like an
Juice
amazing
stuff.
Fallout port.
You
is
know,
Animal Crossing.
This is the crazy thing. There's a game called, I think it's called Animal Royale or something like that, and it's like a Fortnite, except for it's basically like Animal Crossing, and the characters look similar to Animal Crossing characters. It's amazing. It's the most amazing thing ever. So that would be kind of cool to.
I mean, I would definitely be down. But yeah, the crafting looks really cool. I really like that they've added that.
Okay.
And then they've added, like, I don't really understand the miles so much, but I think.
Well,
it'll
that's kind of
probably
like
be a little addition.
Okay, so the miles thing is kind of like, it's the Nook miles, which you're referring to. It's kind of like an achievement program. So when it'll tell you to do certain, like, build 3 axes. Once
Right.
you've built the 3rd axe, they give you experience or some type of points, and then you could take them points and cash them in and do. There's a lot of stuff they haven't really told us everything about the game. So I have a bunch of questions I want to go through here.
Okay.
Obviously, probably the most shocking thing that you saw when you watched the trailer is you're on a deserted island in this one.
Mm-hmm.
What's your feeling about being on a deserted island?
I mean, it's not deserted because there's
well, you know what I mean.
the villagers.
Yeah, but you got to build it up from the ground up. Is what it.
So I guess I didn't. So you start in a tent, is how they show it.
Yes, which is like.
And I'm
New
assuming
Leaf.
eventually you'll get a house.
Yes, because there are houses in
Yeah.
in the game. You can see the houses are in the game.
My thing with Animal Crossing is I love the game. You could make it any setting and I would play it and love it. But really, it's all kind of like a different skin on the same game. Like, and that's for the deserted island thing. I don't really. That doesn't grab me as much as some of the other new things do.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see where, to me, for me, I kind of look at the island and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Did you go to the island in New Leaf a lot or no?
Always.
Okay.
I love the island life. That is like my favorite part. Well, maybe not my favorite, but that's a big part of the game for any of the games I play. Because you can go to the island on GameCube too, couldn't you?
Yes,
They all had an
yeah.
island.
But if you had a Game Boy Advance Link, I didn't do that.
I did.
Well, of course you did.
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Come on, Bobby. The fact that you didn't who's the guru here?
Wow.
I think I might need your title.
Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I was an adult. I thought this game was stupid, and I was like, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't be playing this game to begin with. So
I was an adult too. You're not that much older than me, Bobby.
I'm probably a lot much older.
I worked at EB Games though when
there's a big difference.
When Animal Crossing came out. I don't know. I think I was like 20, and my boss sent it home with me. He's like, "You need to play this. You'll love this." And that was it. Like, that was it for me.
Yeah. That's it's all it took for me as well. It was just to get your foot in the door, and it was just like, yes, please, more of this. Okay, so we're gonna go to the crafting aspect again.
Mm-hmm.
what's your feelings on the crafting? Like,
Oh, I'm super pumped. So like,
are you
so in
worried about any crafting aspects
No.
of it? Or okay,
No,
so
I
you're
think
just
it's
like
gonna
give
be
it to
great.
me. Okay.
Like I want it all. Like when there's the one video of like he's chopping down a tree, and you can see like different color of wood, so you know there's gonna be like soft woods and hardwoods and like redwoods and whatever kind of woods
they've
you
already
can
said
have.
that. Yep.
So that's gonna be cool. Like just like trying. It adds to what I already love. I love going to other towns and like having every fruit in my town, and I want to have I want it all. I want to have every fossil. I want to have every painting. I want it all. So if you're adding like more stuff for me to be able to go out and find and spend hours on end looking for, I am down. So I'm super stoked about that. I think it's gonna be it's just gonna be so much more fun than just like adding furniture to your house. You're gonna be able to build like much more. I'm assuming you'll build custom items and probably custom furniture, and the little sheep dudes will build you stuff.
See, and that's the thing. That's where a lot of things haven't been answered yet. How deep the crafting goes, what exactly we can craft, what we can't craft, where does the crafting start and stop against the stores and all that stuff. Like, what can we buy, what can't we buy? Like, there's so much stuff that's
Do you
kind
think,
of...
Do you think what they'll release, because Nintendo's really good about adding to their games, and usually for free or for a low cost, do you think that they'll add... Do you think the initial crafting will be different than like something maybe they'll add later?
Hold on, before... Okay, I got distracted. I want to do one thing. Hello, Link. Hello, Ellie. How are you guys doing? You might want to say hello to your kids, because they're literally at the TV right now, like, staring at you.
Hi, Link. Hi, Ellie.
Okay. What was the question again? I'm sorry. I got distracted.
So I think... So this is what I think. I think they're going to add the crafting tool.
Yes.
And they're going to... I think eventually they will add to it. I think later down the line, they're going to be like, people love this because everyone's going to love it. And they're going to say, like, here's an additional part of the game.
So I feel like it's going to be one of two things. I'm hoping it's the second thing, but I feel like it's either going to be a very small part of the game where like you craft small tools, things of that, and then eventually it kind of goes away. Or I feel like they're going to double down and go, hey, you can either buy this cherry couch or you can actually build this thing. And
That's what
it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and then as things go further, you actually get to build maybe some things that you just can't even buy.
Yeah, and then maybe you could sell it. Because the marketplace sucks, right? Like, maybe the Switch marketplace, I bet you, is going to be so much better than the 3DS marketplace ever was.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet. I'm excited.
It's going to be...
The crafting, like, I watched that part of the video, like, 4 times. Because I'm just like, that's for me.
That's exciting stuff. Like, that, I'll be honest with you, like, I enjoy Minecraft. There was a game years ago on the Wii called My Sims. It was very much like Animal Crossing, except for you actually crafted and you built stuff. And it was like, you could build like chairs and toilets and fireplaces and all this different stuff. And like, then as you got better and deeper into the game, you learned that like, hey, I can also custom, like I have to build it with a certain amount of stuff, but then I can go a step further and add stuff. So if I was doing a fireplace, like I could put like a bigger mantle on it, you know, but like I just had to have the sides, the hole, and all that stuff, and then anything additional I can keep adding to it. So I hope that they do something like that, where it's like,
that would be amazing.
You could build this couch. If you want, rather than 4 legs on the corners, you want 6. You can do 6. You know what I mean? Like whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you could do all kinds of crazy stuff, because I do feel like with retail on New Leaf, the crafting, they were kind of letting you play with that crafting a little bit when you got to redesign furniture and all that stuff. And I feel like...
And did you do a lot of that? Because I did tons of it. I love doing that.
I did too. Because basically what I realized was I enjoyed it so much that I was just like, okay, I need it to be... I need to be able to change the colors of stuff. Like, once I realized that, like, hey, you can actually change the colors of the furniture. Like, I enjoy the Astro furniture, right, which is orange and white. But actually, if you change it, it becomes, like, a black and, like, blue, and like it's a cool blue, and I was like, oh, this is once I found that first time, I was like, I'm changing everything, and I literally just started. Yeah, I literally started collecting those pieces of minerals and
the
stuff.
Gems. Yeah,
because I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, they'll definitely, like, that was such a small part of that game, and I think it's going to be a big part of this game.
Yes, I agree. So they have announced that there are amiibo in the game, and they are going to have amiibo functionality in the game. What level of amiibo functionality, we don't know. But is that something that entices you or you care about?
I mean, literally the only amiibos, I'm looking at my amiibo wall next to me, the ones we have open are like all of the Animal Crossing ones.
Yes.
Like, these guys are actually open.
Yes.
Because, you can buy them for $3 now everywhere. Yeah. I'm assuming they'll release more, and that excites me because I love amiibos and I love Animal Crossing. I don't know.
But you never...
I don't think they've really done the amiibo. Like, so Skylanders is also my thing.
Yes.
And when the amiibos first came out, I really thought it would be like Skylanders, where, like, you put a character on a portal and that character's in your game. If it was like that, where I put whatever villager on my portal and that guy is now in my town, and, like, maybe... I mean, that would be pretty cool. I'd probably like that. So with anything collectible I like, so...
Yeah, so with New Leaf... I'll kind of explain how it worked. With New Leaf, when you scanned in those amiibo, right, the character amiibos, you could unlock games or special items in the game. Like if you scanned in Ganondorf, you could actually get a pig in your town named Ganon. If you scanned in a horse, like Link on a horse, you got Epona in the town. Like a horse showed up dressed as Epona.
Bobby, my mind was just blown because I did not know this, and now I need to get my 3DS out.
Yes.
Because...
yes. And then the other thing was like if you scanned in like the Squid Sisters, like an octopus showed up in town, and his house had like Splatoon stuff.
Is it just for like that play, or was it permanent?
No, it was permanent. They came in and they moved in. They could move in. Now the other step was amiibo cards, and what they did with the amiibo cards were, let's say you had a favorite villager, and you scan that villager in, they would move into your town, and you could get them to stay.
You asked this question, I don't know, one of the episodes we recorded back in the day. What's your favorite villager? And like, I don't even know any of them, and I was shocked that you knew like all of them. So that part doesn't.
Yeah,
grab me.
Doesn't grab you. So the amiibo is probably then an out situation.
I don't know. You know what? What you just told me that already exists that I didn't know about is pretty sweet, and I think they'll obviously only go a step further.
Yeah.
Although Nintendo sometimes isn't so good about going a step further, and sometimes they take 10 steps back.
Well, this is true. Do you know? Okay, so let's go right there, because that's probably a good place, because I'm curious about your opinion on this. Do you know any of the controversies around this game at all for the Switch?
Controversies.
So one of the things is you can only have one island per Switch.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Okay, so you're not a fan of that. You don't like that.
No,
okay.
Because for example, Link is starting to get into video games. And I don't want him messing with my town. Like, he's too young. He doesn't understand. Like, even if he was old enough to understand, kids are still dumb when it comes to that stuff. Listen, and they don't realize
your kid is pretty intelligent. Your kid is smarter than me.
Doesn't mean he won't, like, he'll be like, hey, Mom, I cut down all the trees in our village or on our island. And I would be like, great.
That's something Sean would do.
He would love that. He would love to go and cut out. Like, that would be his thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I would love for Link to experience Animal Crossing, but I don't want him playing my game. I want him to have his own save file where he can mess around and walk around. Like, because this is actually a great game for him to learn on, because there's really nothing to it.
Yeah. No dying, none of that stuff.
So, no, as a mom gamer, that's, like, the worst thing ever. Sean did order me the console, the Animal Crossing console. So, I mean, in theory, at this moment, when that comes in, we will have 4 Switches, which is completely unnecessary.
No, it's not. It's amazing. But the thing of it is, so if that's the case, then you could basically buy the game digitally. You could, because there's no cloud saves with this game. So, in theory, you could buy the game digitally. You could have a Chelsey Capri profile on all 4, and then every single one could have the game on it.
I thought that Nintendo didn't do that. I thought you couldn't have your game on multiple systems, or is that new?
No, that you can.
Okay.
You can. I have it on my Lite, and so here's the thing: on my Lite and my big one, my OG one, I could literally start the town, or I could play like what I don't even know. Just thinking, like I could play Luigi's Mansion. I could start Luigi's Mansion on my Lite, save it, stop it. It'll go to the cloud, it'll save, and then I could go over and pick it up on the other one and pick up where I left off. But Animal Crossing isn't allowing that. Animal Crossing is saying there are no cloud saves. There's no way to back it up. So in theory, because you can't have the same island on every single town, you could, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you could buy one game, buy it digitally, have it on the profile, and then as long as that profile is on multiple consoles, you should be able to fire up the game.
Can you be logged into my profile on multiple consoles at the same time, though?
That's a good question. And that you might not be able to do.
It's still annoying because...
Yeah, I get it.
Chances are I'm going to sell my original Switch when my Animal Crossing one comes, because we don't need as many Switches, and
I think
we can afford as many Switches.
I think you should sell one of Sean's Xboxes and keep the Switches. That's my
Well, actually, we do actually have an Xbox that is unnecessary that we probably are thinking about selling. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah.
We should sell both, because we really don't need 4 Switches and 9 Xboxes, or however many we have at this point.
Yeah.
Even if Link did have his own Lite, which he doesn't, and that's not happening anytime soon because he is 2.
Yes.
It's annoying to have to have a digital copy, and no, because it's saved to the cartridge. So then if I have a cartridge,
it saves to the console, not the cartridge.
So if I have a cartridge and he plays it, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's dumb. You should just have. Okay. You should be able to save more. At least 2. Give me 2. Me and my kids. I don't want my kid. They're not thinking. This console, I think, is very much a parent and child console. People share these consoles with their children.
Yes.
This is probably the first console ever that I see a ton of adults playing. In a long time. I think people are proud with their Switches.
Yes, I agree.
You see the dad that goes to work and he's on the bus or the train. He's playing his Switch, and then he comes home, and now that is a home console for their family.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can afford multiple Switches and 7 Xboxes and 12 PlayStations.
I got you. I understand. I mean, and this was a disagreement Sean and I had on our podcast earlier this week, and that was the thing. For me, I was just it just doesn't, to me, but I'm single, I don't have that aspect. So for me, it's just whatever. I just want to play the game. But I get it from hearing it now from you, because I actually thought, I was well, hell, I could see Chelsey actually playing with Link, because you can actually play together at the same time.
And that would be cool. And we probably will do that. And he's young enough right now that he wouldn't wreck my town. He'll just walk around and think that's great.
Yes.
So that is fun. And that would be, I do like that you can play in the same town together.
Yes. Yeah.
Easily. I'm assuming easily. But
apparently
no,
it
I
is
still
very easily. It's just you just grab the Joy-Con and go, and then immediately they just pop in
and that's good.
Yeah.
Because before it's been a pain in the butt to play with other people. But yeah, no, I definitely would like for Link to have his own town that we could play in that town together.
Yes. Okay, so you said that you did get the special edition Switch.
I'm pretty sure Sean said he ordered it for me.
Have you seen it?
I
showed you. I showed you the trailer for it. So you definitely.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
What's your? You say you love it.
It's amazing.
Because you had the original, the 3DS.
I know. I wish I had it down here with me. I don't even know where it is actually. Yeah, I have the one that looks like Louis Vuitton, but it's Animal Crossing.
Yes.
That one's amazing. That's the best design ever. I
like that design?
I love my 3DS.
Yeah. I think that design speaks very much to women as opposed to men.
Maybe.
I'm talking about the 3DS one. I just feel because you just said it's the Louis Vuitton. I remember when I was married, that was something that appealed to her, because it was oh, this reminds me of my Michael Kors bag and all this stuff, and I was just oh God, please.
It's
stop.
funny because if you know me, I am not into that stuff at all. I just think the design, it's so much different than any other 3DS design. They're all a picture of a character on the side, or I mean, there's a couple good ones, but I think that Animal Crossing is the best design out there.
So what do you like about the
color is
okay.
Fabulous.
The colors are pretty cool.
The green and blue is amazing, or teal and turquoise, whatever it is. I really like the color. It's great. I need to pull up a picture. Excuse me while I do that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Animal Crossing.
I was surprised out of all of it that the back plate isn't white as well. It's like, man, the one miss. They could have like completely crushed it with this thing. And I'm not saying they did bad. I love this thing. I think this thing is fantastic. But I'm like,
I can't see the back of it. What color is the back of it?
it's black. But
that is a miss.
Yeah, it's black, but it has like etching on it of like
like on the actual. Oh, I like that.
Do you like that? Okay.
I do like that. I like the contrast. Sorry, I thought you meant the back plate of the
port. No, not the dock.
Like, it looks white to me.
No, the dock is completely white, and I think that's fantastic.
Like that. But it's like an off-white too, like.
Yeah.
I like that. Cool. It's funny because when I had a car, I had like a really nice MR2, and when I was looking at different colored paints, I really wanted it to be like an off-white. I thought that's
pretty awesome.
A really good color. And look at the little Nook and his kids, the Nook family. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, I love everything about it. It's perfect. Are you a fan of DLC? Like overall, just in games in general. Yeah, you know what? That's a hard one because I feel like most people say no, but I like it. I was a season pass holder for Fallout, and like that was amazing, and I loved it. I think like Nintendo that's one thing they've often done really well, like with Mario Kart and stuff. So yes, my final answer, yes, I do like DLC.
In a situation, because they've done DLC for Animal Crossing in the past, that started on the Wii, where we would get like a new piece of furniture every single month. It was tacky and ugly as hell. It was like gold furniture.
No, but you had to have it.
I know you had to. Trust me, I got every single one. Believe me. And then on the 3DS, they did a lot of different things with furniture and like DLC and all that stuff. With this version, it's way up in the air. How it's going to be handled, what's going to happen. Some people think it's going to be, you got to buy it. Some people think it's going to be free. I personally think it'll stay free because that's the way it's always been. What would you, if in your perfect world, what would the DLC be for you?
So I really think they're going to add something to crafting. And maybe I'm just being like optimistic there. But I think they're just gonna put it in there at first and see how people like it and see what people do with it. And I think they'll add to that. I'm assuming they'll do the seasonal furniture and like the holiday furniture, like the Easter and Christmas.
Yeah, that stuff will be in there. Yeah, that's it.
So I don't know. I guess I've never really thought about it. What do you think?
I mean, I would. What I want and what I think are two different things. I think they're gonna drop the ball on the DLC content. What I want and what I hope is, I hope that they basically hit it the way they hit Pocket Camp, which is there's so much stuff that they add to Pocket Camp in terms of furniture and stuff. I would love if, and I would be willing to pay, but I know that I would assume they're going to keep it free because in theory, the whole aspect of Animal Crossing is the trade feature. And if I paid for DLC and I couldn't give it to you, well, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? Then it kind of defeats the purpose of having it.
Right.
Unless people were to come to my town and see that I had it and they were like, oh, I got to go buy it now. And then that becomes a thing. Like, that could be what they're trying to go for. But in theory, I think that they've always given us free DLC. I assume that's going to be the same. But in doing that, I feel like they're going to kind of just half-step it and not do what I would want. What I would want is, an example is Gracie Grace. So Gracie Grace has these high-end furniture and clothes that they do, and it comes out each season, and it's like seasonal. It's like true fashion, right? I would love for them to do, here's year one, boom, here, oh my God, here comes season 2 of Gracie Grace, and here's all new furniture for all 4 seasons. Here's new clothes for all 4 seasons, and then you just go, and then that's it. And then year 3, do the same thing. Like, that to me is something I've always wanted, is them to continue the furniture lines of some amazing stuff, and that would be what I want.
So for you, it's more about like the
Aesthetics.
shopping part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to see like mini games. I want them to add like other things to the game, like because I love the furniture and I love collecting all that stuff, and like I buy it all and then like I don't use any of it. Like it'll all be in my storage, and every now and then I change up my house, but like for the most part I get my house exactly how I want it, and I never change it.
Makes sense. See, I'll change some of my house, but not too much.
Well, every now and then you come across a good piece, and then you're like, well, now I need to match the whole set, and now I need to change out my whole like family room. But I think like some mini games, like I can't remember if New Leaf had it. I think the GameCube did, where you could find like the Nintendo system.
Yes.
And like I want that. I want little like Easter eggs and like little hidden gems that like are really truly hard to find, and like only the people like me and you who are going to put 400 stupid hours into this game will find it.
See, in New Leaf, what they did was they came out with Amiibo Festival, right? And in Amiibo Festival, there was a game called Deserted Island or whatever, something like that. And basically the idea was you took 3 Amiibo cards, and those 3 Amiibo cards were different characters, and each character had statistics and abilities, and you went to the island, you were trapped, and then you had to use those characters to kind of maneuver around to find like the raft to be able to get off the island. That was a really cool game that they put into Amiibo Festival. And when they did the update for New Leaf, when you scanned in your Amiibo, it was then added to the game. So when you went into your house, there was a Wii U sitting in the house. You walked up to the Wii U, you clicked it, and then boom, you went to this game. It was pretty cool.
I want that.
So that would be pretty awesome if they did that again.
I'm also really hoping they keep the little like Mario, like the Nintendo.
Oh God, yes.
Branded items to find. Those are I had a whole like Nintendo room dedicated to everything. It was pretty sweet.
That would be fantastic. I actually had said if they did Amiibo, I would love to take every Amiibo I have, be able to scan it in, and then like get exclusive items. So like,
no, I want Amiibos in the game.
Oh, of course you would. No, but I'm thinking like look at like I have Super Mario Odyssey Mario. If I scanned him in, I got the white top hat, you know. And then like if I scanned in like a Goomba, maybe I got a Goomba T-shirt or stuff like that. Like that would be awesome.
I want that, but I also want to have like a literal. Like statue. In my iScan, my Amiibo, and then I get that Amiibo in the game. I bet, because people love that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my money on it right now. They're going to put Amiibos in the game to collect.
That would be kind of cool. I'd collect the hell out of them things.
Of course we would. And I have them. This would be like when I open all my Amiibos. Sean comes home, there's just all this packaging.
Just packaging all over the place.
I had to. I'm addicted.
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of Animal Crossing, do you consider yourself a completionist? Like when it comes to fishing and bugs and all that stuff?
So I start out that like I'm going to find them all, but the seasonal ones kill me because I'm not a cheat. I don't like to change my time. This is the time it is in the game. This is the time it is in real life. The only time I'll change it is if like I'm traveling. I always like it to be actually the time that I'm in, but like I would never be like, oh, I'm just gonna fast forward time to December so I can collect something then. So the seasonal stuff gets me, and then like I'll fall off a bit and then I'll get back on. So like say there's something you can only get in December will happen to be the month I don't play, and then January I get back into it, and then I gotta wait till December again for that special fish so I haven't completed any of them. I've come very close, so I'm not, but it eats me inside a little bit every time I go back to one of my games. I'm like, I don't have all the fish.
I know. It's what keeps me playing for the entire year. Because I'm like, I have to. And I literally, like, on New Leaf, I had an app that tracked everything I caught and then, like, told me what time they were available, like, day, night, whatever.
Smart. Huh? That's smart.
I was going bananas with that thing.
Okay. Well, I need to get my 3DS out before this game comes out and play a little bit of that, I think.
I'm afraid to play. Are you not afraid that you'll get burned out?
I don't think it's... Wait, burned out, like, like literally physically?
No.
Or like
In terms of like
bored of it?
Bored of it. Like that's my biggest fear. Like I've wanted to go back and play the 3DS, or even fire up the GameCube version, or or City Folk, and I'm just like, if I start playing this, I'm gonna fall down a rabbit hole, and then I am not gonna play New Horizons.
No, I don't think that's possible for me.
Okay.
But my problem is, like, I have so little time to play video games that I literally don't think it would be possible for me to get sick of a game with the amount of time I'd be able to invest in a game right now.
I had a question here, and I have an assumption now after talking to you for a few minutes. But what is, like, how do you see yourself playing this game? Like, handheld, docked, like, where are you going to get the most time?
It'll be handheld for sure, because it's funny because my initial answer is handheld for sure, 100%. But then talking to you about like playing with Link and Link's beginning, it's tough to say. There might be a little bit of co-op play on the TV because I really would like to show Link this game. I think he'll like it, although it doesn't have Mario in it and it doesn't have like the characters he's familiar with, so it might not draw him in.
You could dress him up as Mario. You can get Mario hats in this
That's
game
true.
And clothes, and so you could trick him into thinking he's Mario.
Maybe. He's pretty smart when it comes to Mario. He can recognize a fake. But he does just enjoy playing video games with us, so I think he would like it. So therefore, I think that some console play will happen.
Yeah.
But I would say primarily it'll be after the... Animal Crossing is one of those games that you can play and not really pay a lot of attention to. Mm-hmm. So, and I have ADD, and it's been super severe recently. Like, I will need to be playing Animal Crossing and like sitting on my couch watching TV or doing something else.
I'm with you.
Yeah, mostly handheld, but maybe we'll see. Maybe a little bit of console play.
So I know that I showed you the trailer or the commercial with the mother and the daughter playing.
I feel like I maybe didn't watch that one. Okay. I got too caught up in the
crafting one.
The big video, yeah.
Okay. So
this is a mother-daughter playing. I think it's like a 15-second video.
Yeah, just you can watch that for a second, because I'm really curious if there's anything that stands out to you in that trailer.
Okay.
Like anything that just like you were like, oh, that's really cool, or you like the aspect of it, or whatever it might be. And so I was kind of hoping.
Is it the first or second video?
It was the first video I think I sent you.
Me too. It's literally 15 seconds long. So give me 15 seconds.
You're fine. Go ahead. You got
this it. Is riveting stuff.
15 seconds. It's fine. I can fill the air with 15 seconds. No problem.
The music is good so far.
The music's fantastic.
There was nothing about a mother and daughter playing. It must have been the second video.
Maybe it was the second video. Who knows?
Oh, there we go. It is the second.
It might have been like.
Well, this one was 30 seconds. I don't know if
30 seconds. You got it. It's fine. People will be fine with waiting a second for you to watch.
This mom. She's so mom looking.
She's no Chelsey Capri. I got you. I understand.
Oh, I'm so.
But it's, they don't show a lot of the game in it. It's more just the mother and the daughter playing together.
This stupid commercial is gonna make me cry.
Because you're like, Ellie, don't be like this.
I want that in my life.
You're gonna be like, me and Ellie. This is me and Ellie one day.
Oh Lord, I'm overtired. Okay.
So.
Well, that was magical.
Oh Jesus! Stop. God.
Oh God.
Was there anything that
that daughter is very old.
Oh Jesus! I mean, was there, from what you saw, was there something that stood out that was just like, oh, that?
Well, I feel like I'm looking at something. Like I feel like you noticed something that I'm not noticing.
Well, I think the one thing that stands out to a lot of people is the idea of like because when you play the game, the decorating outside the houses is amazing. Sean came down and was watching the end of the video with me while I was watching the stuff he sent me, and I'm like, look, you can decorate outside. I'm so excited for that. That is pretty epic.
And it doesn't look like it's just like limited to like fences and stuff,
no,
right?
It's everything. And I think that's the thing that I see in that trailer is they actually took it to fences and stuff, and it was like, and you didn't see that in the early bits, because it's almost like, where does my house start? Where does my house end? And
well, I'm sure there'll be like...
Oh, you can go anywhere with it.
Limits.
That's the cool thing.
Oh, really? You can build stuff anywhere?
Anywhere. That's the idea behind it. You could build stuff anywhere. So it takes what you can do in New Leaf it just takes it to that whole other level, it feels. Which
I'm
is
in
fantastic.
trouble. I don't have this kind of time on my hands anymore to like invest in a game like my kids are at a really shitty age for this game to come out.
Well,
Like
listen,
they're very needy.
they're very needy. Stop it. You can have the kids just, watch. Link can watch Ellie. You're fine.
You know what? I thought about that today. I'm like, Bobby needs me. Lincoln, you need to step up here. Okay, feed your sister.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
You played a little bit of Pocket Camp, correct? Or no?
I did.
Okay.
That came out at a really good time for me because I was breastfeeding Link at that time. Excuse me. So I was doing like a lot of night feeds, and like that was perfect because I always had my phone on me.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a quick.
Yeah.
You could jump in and do stuff.
And the stuff that was timed was perfect for my feeds generally because it'd be like, oh, by the time this is built, I'll be feeding Link again.
Yes.
I liked it. I didn't last long in that game. I fell off pretty fast. I would say I played it for a month.
And you never went back at all?
I've thought about it lots, but no.
Yeah. There was just something about that game that just could not keep me entertained. I just found myself just leaving.
I don't like games on my phone. Even when I do have time to play, I'd rather just be like scanning through social media or like updating, like sending an email from my phone, which I hate doing. But if I have the time, like there's other things I can do from my phone that I would rather do than play games. I know like Sean was really excited about like the Xbox app where you can play games from your phone. I'm like, I don't get it. I never want to play games on my phone, even when they're appropriate for a phone. Like, because Pocket Leaf?
Pocket Camp.
Pocket Camp was, I mean, it was well done. It was
Yeah.
It was what you'd expect from an Animal Crossing game on your phone.
Yeah. I just wanted a little bit more Animal Crossing and a little less mobile. You know,
I mean,
the idea of like, oh, you could go up and just automatically catch fish and automatically catch bugs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it told you exactly when to tap. You just tapped the phone and it was like instantaneous. It was like no creeping up on it, none of that. It was just like, oh, this is so there. It just lost me on it. Okay, so I have another question, and I think I just lost it. And hold on, I'm looking through, and I think I have it. Is there anything in this game that you're worried about? Like, is there anything that, like, you just say to yourself, like, man, I hope they don't do this, or whatever?
not really. I don't think so. Nothing. I'm trying to think of what I don't like in other games, and there really isn't anything that, like, I don't like. This is coming from someone who's never collected everything in all of the games, but, like, I do think that they should add stuff for the completionists out there.
Yes.
Like, just keep adding fish. Like, make it so you can't complete this game. Like, every year, add 10 more fish that have now reproduced. Or, like, maybe you can, like, create
See, now
new
that
fish.
would be a great DLC. Seriously. If they were to go, hey, you give us $10 or whatever, and we are going to add 10 fish, 10 bugs, 10 fossils, 10... Like, go right down the gambit and add 10 across the board. I would go into that. Like, that would be amazing.
Even I would maybe pay for that, and I don't pay for that stuff.
I would be on board with that. That would be pretty epic. And see, I was going to ask you this question, but I feel like you probably don't care. And that was... There's no news right now with this game. And you were good because you were radio silent on the whole thing.
Yes, I don't want to know anything.
Do you still feel that way? Like,
I
or now that you saw some stuff, or you're just like, now I want to see more?
I am pumped about it. As mad as I was initially at you, I am super pumped now.
Okay.
More so than I already was, obviously. But I don't need more. I don't.
Okay.
I don't need you to give me anything for Animal Crossing. You say an Animal Crossing game is coming out, and I go, great. I put it in my calendar, and I will buy it that day. I need nothing more.
That's kind of how I feel. And right now, we're in a situation where people want more information. We're clinging to, like, images. And they're, like, picking the images apart and going, like, oh, you can see this character over here. And, like, this is a new character. And we can build this now. Like, we can build staircases and like, all this crazy stuff that people are pulling out of these images that Nintendo's releasing on the game. But the one thing that people are looking at, they want is A, a Nintendo Direct, and B, like an Animal Crossing centric Direct. How do you feel about that? Like, are you on board with that, or do you just like, you don't care at all? You care less?
Care.
Okay.
If people want it, give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 3 games that you don't need to give anything to people about. And that is a new Mario game, a new Zelda game, and a new Animal Crossing game.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, we're all going to buy it.
This is true.
So, like, I mean, to be fair with Zelda, the more they showed me, the more I'm like, I'm not going to like that game. They would have been better off showing me nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm maybe not the norm with that. I mean, most people like it. I still don't love it.
See, I'm of the mindset of, like, you can overshow stuff. I really believe that.
Oh, for sure.
I believe that, like, I know that we live in the age of, like, show me everything, and and then you get there to the movie theater, and there's like, I've seen all the good parts in the trailers. I didn't even need to come here to watch the movie.
Sean and me always talk about that. We're like, we avoid trailers for any movie we want to see because it's
too.
like even the Netflix. Oh, I don't know what's happening upstairs.
Yeah.
Even the Netflix. Like the previews that, like, when you're scrolling and it starts playing.
Yeah, I turned.
I'm like,
it off.
no, stop!
Yeah,
You're showing me like the end of the movie. What is happening?
I also, like, I won't watch like, if I watch an episode of something and it goes, like, I used to watch The Walking Dead all the time, right? And then it would be like, hey, here you go. Here is the next episode.
No.
I would turn it off. I was like, I don't want to know what's going to happen on the next episode.
Don't tell me.
Like, I want to go in blank and blind, and I don't want to know nothing. And that to me is where, you know, there's an ice cream truck here. So to me, that's like essentially where I'm at. Like, I don't want to know anything. I just want to go in blind, and it's hard for me in this situation because I have to create content, so I have to pay attention to all this stuff, and my audience totally wants me to talk about Animal Crossing, but it's also like the player in me is like, man, just give me the game. I don't need to know nothing. I don't want to know nothing. But then the analytical side of me is just like, wait a minute, let me look at this image and let me pull this all apart, and it's like, it's killing me. So, like, part of me is like so excited, the other part's like dying a little bit inside. So
well, and you still have like 5 weeks before it comes out, so
I know that's gonna be hard. I already have it on my Switch. I pre-downloaded it. I already bought it, and
like, it doesn't work.
No, it don't work.
I'm like, what?
It's just sitting there. And I don't typically do that either. I don't typically pre-order the day that something's available. I went right to the shop and got it. I was like, I gotta have this thing.
I'm not gonna lie, didn't even know you could do that.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Maybe I'll have to do that.
There you go.
Do you know?
You're welcome,
of
Sean.
course, you know the system. Does it come out the same day as the game, or does it come out before?
The system comes out a week before.
Nice. Okay,
which is great because we could get it set up, get everything. Like in your case, you're going to transfer everything over. It's going to be what
when
it
you
is.
say you mean Sean, because I don't do it. That is
whatever.
his job.
It's, you know, it's whatever. But by the way, I just want to do this real quick plug. We are giving away here on my channel a Switch, the special edition Switch, the Animal Crossing Switch. In order to be entered, just follow me on Twitch. So just go over there, follow me on Twitch, and you're automatically entered. And then on the 13th, we will be giving one away, which is pretty amazing.
Well, I'm gonna enter, and I better not be like taken off because I'm married to Sean.
Well, listen, I wouldn't take you off because you're married to Sean. Whatever. I'll take Sean off because he's kind of my.
Yeah,
wife.
I mean, that's fair.
That's, you know, we're kind of related. So, okay, let's talk about this. How well do you think this game does? Like, if you had to say, now let me preface this. Nintendo games are selling extremely well right now. I don't know if you heard the latest financials. Like, Pokemon came out to like the tune of 17 million units in like 3 months. Smash is at like 20, or Smash is at almost 20 million or something like that. Mario Kart's like 20 something million. Zelda's at like 8, 9 million, 10 million, whatever. Like, the numbers are huge for this stuff. Ring Fit, I think, is at a few million already. But where do you see this game hitting when it launches?
A lot. I mean, I don't know numbers. I don't know what is good or bad or normal or above normal. I mean, obviously you just gave me some numbers. But I mean, I think it'll do amazing. I think I think it already has a crazy following and people love Animal Crossing, but I think the Switch is grabbing onto people who are new to the gaming world. Like, there's a lot of, apparently by their commercials, there's a lot of moms out there that are grabbing their Switches and playing with their teenage daughters.
Yes.
Agreed. I think it'll be huge. I hope it's huge, because if it's huge, that means they're going to give us more stuff.
Okay, so there is someone out there that you know, and I will tell you who it is after the fact.
Okay.
But they say that Animal Crossing is a B tier, a lower tier franchise from Nintendo. Do you believe that, or do you think it's one of the top franchises?
I mean, so it's so tough when you're so in love with something to like think that not everyone could love it as much as you. Like, my blinders are definitely on with this game because I love this game. It is, like I said, Fallout and this game, if I had to pick, probably my favorite games. Ocarina of Time is up there too. But I could see it. Like, I always say to people when they're like, oh, I don't really like Animal Crossing. I'm like, yeah, I guess I get it. Like, I get why people wouldn't like it. It's not a game where you're like, I don't get how, like, you can like this amazing game. It's perfect. I think it's perfect. Yeah. But I get that, like, paying off a mortgage by shaking trees and grabbing fruit doesn't maybe appeal to the masses.
Yes.
But I don't know. Everyone I've talked to, with the exception of one person, loves Animal Crossing. Like, Sean doesn't love Animal Crossing, but he likes it. Yeah. And, like, I think at the very least he sees the appeal in it. Yeah. He definitely doesn't invest the time like I do into it, but he likes it.
So the person was Donnie Reese of PSVG, which,
what does he know?
Exactly. That's my feeling.
Does he even have a Nintendo show? God.
No, we don't talk about that show. No, but I think so. I agree and disagree with him. I feel like obviously it's not a Zelda, it's not a Mario game, but I don't feel like it's lesser. Like, I feel like it's just on the edge of that, and I feel like this is probably the game that's going to give it the push it needs to take it to the next level. I feel like it's parallel with Fire Emblem. And Fire Emblem over the years has started to take off and move into that upper tier for Nintendo. And I feel like that's where this game is. I feel like this game, and especially this version of the game, has the ability to really just push and take off and go to that top tier. So that's where I think it is. I don't think at this very moment it's Zelda, Mario, that type.
No, I agree.
But I think it definitely has the ability to get there with this version of the game.
I'd be curious to know what Donnie thinks, I mean, obviously we know that Zelda and Mario are going to be up in the top tier, but I'd be curious as to what he's putting in, like, the B-class games with Animal Crossing. Yeah. To be able to give, like, a fair argument against or for that.
I mean, he's more or less saying, like, Smash, Mario Kart, Zelda, they're all top tier, and then everything else is kind of below.
I feel like it's right on that line, though. Like, I feel like he's right. It's maybe not up there with them. And like you said, I think this, if any game's going to take it up there, it's going to be the Switch one.
See, and I also feel this too, but I'm also of the mindset that I feel like Amiibo Festival, I feel like Happy Home Designer, and I feel like the quasi-flop of Animal Crossing Amiibo, killed kind of what people felt about the franchise. Because I feel that if they would have released Amiibo so when they added the Welcome Amiibo update to New Leaf, to me that's when people started buying the cards and buying the Amiibo. But it was a little too late at that point. I feel like if they would have had a proper way or usage of the Amiibo, things would have been different. But when you give a very D tier, F tier game with Amiibo Festival, which I like the game, but it didn't sell. It was on a bad console. It just was not good. Wasn't very well received. I feel like that's diminished the franchise a little bit, and people point to it. But I also feel like for Nintendo to make Animal Crossing a mobile game, that says something. Like, that says they have enough confidence in this game that it can go top tier. And the other game, by the way, is Fire Emblem. And I feel like those two games are moving in the upswing for Nintendo. And I really do believe that, like, this game is going to tell a different tale. I think this game is going to sell a lot of games when the time is done. I think it's going to push it up a little bit.
But speaking of upswing, the pole vaulting over the rivers.
How cool is that?
It's the best.
Is that
I'm
amazing?
so excited.
Is that amazing? Like, that was like, when I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute, are you serious right now? Like, this is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I guess apparently you can only do it in certain, I assume in certain areas. Like, you can't go over every area. But I don't know, because they haven't showed much to it. It just seems like every time they do it, it's almost like, well, this is where a bridge would be. And that's where they go over, where it kind of like indents just a little bit there.
I wonder if you could build, I wonder if the crafting will include building bridges, because that would be nice too.
Well, it does from what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is one thing that we talked that I mentioned earlier. They are showing that you can actually make staircases. So you can go from, and that's outdoor staircases. So it's like, you know how in New Leaf, like when you went down to the beach, you went down like a ramp. Mm-hmm. Apparently you can replace those ramps with staircases. So if that's the case, and those ramps aren't on the beach or whatever, they're in the inland part of it. So you can build staircases in this. So I'm assuming you can build, you can actually build, because you could do that in New Leaf. You built the bridges in New Leaf.
I don't remember doing that.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. Like, you not only do you build bridges, but then you could go to Isabel with public works projects and build particular types of bridges. So if you wanted to
building a bridge. Looking this up, Bobby. I don't trust you.
I mean, you didn't technically build it. You put it up there. They put a money box there, and you paid money, and then you got it. But it was kind of like you were putting it up to go.
I feel like you're wrong.
I feel like I'm right. You're questioning me on this?
I am questioning you because I do not remember ever building a bridge. Okay, well, I can't find an answer, but I will find that answer.
You can. I'm telling you, you can build bridges.
Well, I can't find it under pressure right now.
Okay.
I don't think you're right.
You can build bridges.
Oh, I just don't think you're right.
Because you get one bridge when you start the game in New Leaf, and then you can build 2 more bridges. You get to pick where they go and you put them in.
Okay, but you're limited on the amount you can build.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can only do 2. Yeah, you can only do 2. And I'm assuming you can only do the same thing here. They're not going to let you go hog wild and go like, here's 16 bridges.
Just bridge all the way across the river.
We're just going to bridges all across. You just walk wherever you want to walk. It's an open world map. We're just going to do our thing. Would you be...
I'm way too excited. Oh my goodness.
Okay, here's the final question I got for you before we wrap it up. Do you feel, or how would you feel about traveling to multiple islands?
I mean,
like,
why wouldn't you want that?
I'm just saying, like, what? Okay, so if there
I can come to your island.
No, I don't mean like that.
Oh.
I don't mean like that. I mean like travel to, similar to New Leaf, when you go to the island. Are you wanting there to be multiple islands? Like, you could travel to this island and there's something you could do at that island, or you could travel to this island and there's something you could do over this island.
It'll be different because you're already on an island, but they always have like a travel aspect to the game.
Yes.
Always. Every one of them has. But I bet you it's not going to be an island because you're already on the island. They're going to travel you somewhere else.
It'd be interesting. I mean,
but yes, of course I want that.
Man, could you imagine if they brought the city back, like city folk, like you traveled to the city? I don't want that. I don't want that because I hated that. But still, it would be different.
I want anything. I want whatever they're going to give me.
You're too easy.
I am. I'm like the easiest to please when it comes to Animal Crossing. Like, oh, you're giving me... Well, Happy Home Design was good. It didn't quite fill my void.
No. It was just a little taste. Mm-hmm. I do like that. See, that's the other thing, too, with the update, the Welcome to People update. The way you move the furniture in Happy Home Designer got moved over to that game. So you could actually move in grids as opposed to, like, grabbing and sliding across.
Right.
Which was cool.
That's kind of the worst.
It was stupid.
It'll be good on the Switch, though, because you know it's all going to be touchscreen. It'll probably be really easy to do.
Yeah. Okay. So that is all. That's all we got for today. Is there anything you want to say before we go? Like, anything you want to talk about real quickly to wrap up before we go, or are you good?
I am just pumped. Okay. That is all. That is all. I am pumped.
You're pumped. That is all. You're pumped. Anybody that wants to check out and follow Chelsey, you can follow her at Chelsey Capri 23 over on Twitter. You also have a podcast. You want to talk about that real quickly?
I mean, if you are a parent and you like video games, you can check us out on Apparently,
There you go.
a parenting podcast.
There you go. Her and Johnny Casino.
That plug.
Yeah, her and Johnny, wonderful. Her and Johnny Casino are the hosts of that show. You can check me out over on Twitter, Instagram at Nintendo Gurus. We will be back next Friday with Caro, the Nintendo Dame from PSVG. She will be on the show Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is all. Peace out, Preston.